This video is an orientation for use of the temple, Prasad room, dishwasher room area. As you no doubt have learned, where the plates and cups and forks go when the dishwasher is ready for use. There are times when it's not to be used, and I'll explain now. Here we see there is a plate rack, cup rack, and fork and spoon rack. It's obviously time to use the dishwasher. When you don't see the rack here, don't presuppose that it will be here at a later time, so let me put my cup, fork, or plate here for later cleaning. That is not allowed here, because prasad gets left too long on the plates and causes stains, as well as it's harder to get them clean later. And we don't want to use this machine for just a few plates, cups, and forks. This means it's time to hand clean what we use, so please use the sink here to hand wash with soap your plates, cups, or forks. Here, below the machine, are racks, and the reason we are showing this area is we have experience with devotees using this area for miscellaneous storage, and we don't want this to happen either, and especially because there are corrosive, caustic, concentrated dishwashing chemicals here at the farther end of the machine. Here we've shown some of the areas of this room where things are left randomly around the room, including but not limited to a few cups in the dirty sink. Srila Prabhupada has said that cleanliness is next to godliness, and that's especially true here, because when the areas that all devotees see on a daily basis are dirty, our mind gravitates away from Krishna and towards messy thoughts because of the clutter left either accidentally, meaning one forgot, or on purpose, which we don't like to think of. I have termed this behavior as ghost activity because it hurts my mind and devotional creeper to think a devotee did this. If you come upon something like this in your travels around the temple in general, your first thought should be, let me clean this up for Srila Prabhupada, because he wouldn't be pleased to see such things in his temple. Granted, it does feel like home for most of us, but we can't be careless about keeping things neat and tidy, especially because we don't want people to get the wrong idea. This area we're seeing here is a devotee cup and fork or spoon dry area. Don't place plates here because the shelves are a bit too small to get plates completely dry, and wet plates stuck together here cause bacteria and potential sickness as a result. Here's where to put your washed plates to dry on the white plate racks, and if these are loaded with plates, don't put your plate here. Go across the room 5 feet away and put your plates on the white racks there. Here's when everyone has a place to put their shoes, when they're in the temple or in the kitchen. Please be observant to do as the sign says, and again, things will be looking neat and tidy. If you must run in and back out fast, then you can leave your shoes in the area of the rack. To do this for no more than 3 minutes space of time, as any more, then it can be accumulated when more than one devotee has an emergency too. I will be assigning shoe spaces according to need, and some devotees may get a shoe space outside the kitchen if that's where they spend the majority of time. This table area is exclusively for the Krishna lunch plates, where they are dispensed daily to the truck, for campus and for after lunch. Don't use this area for anything. I will be monitoring this area daily and will remove anything not belonging here. This area in the back of this table, for now, is a cup placement area as well. However, this area is for devotees to use as a place to put prasad on their plates from the refrigerator area from trays. Moving on to the bucket area, you will see we have green and occasionally red buckets placed here. Please don't clog up the hallway with anything, especially not shoes, as we see here. Devotees need sometimes to move fast around the kitchen area and they can trip on such things. On to the area I know you'll come to love, and that's the Prasad refrigerator area. Here we see it's a bit empty, but it fills up fast. Please don't put saved plates in here unless the person saved for is on his or her way soon, and along with that person's name on the plates. Put your name as well in case the person supposed to claim the plate doesn't, and we need to toss the Prasad out. You can be contacted to let us know you want the Prasad, or the person saved for couldn't eat it that day and they still want it. When you remove the Prasad from here, it's always the case that it gets smaller in size when you use it. So when it's small enough to fit in smaller containers, please put the Prasad there. That way there's more room in the fridge for things like sweet rice, etc. And not a lot of partly, or as has been the case, empty containers sitting here taking up space, and they could be used in the kitchen. It's only a few feet away from the kitchen, and cleaning a tray or container will also clean the dirt in our hearts every time we take a few minutes out to clean for Krishna. Krishna might give you lots of extra time to do fun things for him, the cleaner your heart gets. You no doubt have seen our mural here. And a few feet away from here is where we'd like to daily find the wagon and dollies you see here, especially at night, is where they all should be placed. The other carts for unloading go here next to the Krishna lunch storage room and in front of the temple tool room. The library and men's laundry is in the bhakti house, and here is where the men's laundry should be hung. And here's where the women's laundry should be hung. Only when there isn't an alternative should one or the other use another's clothesline. Hare Krishna, and have a Krishna conscious life of bliss after you spend time here with Krishna House.